What can be done about a person making a false claim about an active shooter? Hey, this is Drew Page. Welcome to the Drew Page channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the legal ramifications of someone making a false claim about an active shooter at a school. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit the notification bell. Please comment, let me know what you think, let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with, what questions you have, and I do try to respond to every single comment I have. So with that being said, let's jump into the video. Reports came out today that all across Hampton Roads, Virginia, from Virginia Beach even as far as Southside Virginia in Greensville County, there were numerous accounts of false claims of active shooters engaging in schools. It started early this morning in Virginia Beach, carried out through the afternoon in Norfolk and in Suffolk, and then there was another claim at Greensville County High School in Virginia, all basically along the Hampton Roads and Highway 58 corridor, at least as far as reports have been made so far. Fortunately, all of those reports turned out to be false. There were no active shooters in any of the schools. Even though parents were notified, as they should be, about the situation, and many believed that there was actually an active shooter situation, it turned out that they were all false. Thank goodness that all of the kids were safe. That is a fantastic thing. But that does leave the issue: who is the person that is making all of these calls, and what can be done to hold that person responsible for making these false claims? Now, each state is different, so each state is going to have its own particular code. For Virginia, which happens to be where I live, the code section that applies is 18.2-461, makes it a crime to falsely summon law enforcement. It is a Class 1 misdemeanor, which is punishable up to 12 months in jail and a $2,500 fine. And then there is a elevated provision that if it is on the basis of some sort of discrimination, it makes it a Class 6 felony. Now, in looking at this particular code section, I was surprised that the punishment did not also become aggravated, or the level or degree of crime was not elevated if it involved an active shooter. I would suspect that the General Assembly, particularly in Virginia, and whatever the legislative bodies are across the country in the various states, will likely take another look at this, because of the growing number of active shootings that we've had in schools across the country in recent days. And for someone to falsely claim that there is an active shooter situation, to falsely summon law enforcement out in that area, I believe is likely to be something that the government should look at elevating the level of crime, as opposed to it just being a Class 1 misdemeanor. Now again, if this was an issue related to discrimination, there's already a provision that makes it a Class 6 felony. But when we're dealing with our children, we're talking about the protection of children across the country, and particularly today in our state in Virginia. It's important to make sure that we are not distracting law enforcement and also causing grief and pain to parents who are trusting their kids at these particular schools, and believing that there's an active shooter situation when there is none. So there's currently, the way that it stands, there would be a maximum punishment in jail of 12 months for each instance that it occurs. And under good time in Virginia, if you're of good behavior, you actually would only serve half that time. So essentially, the person would only get 6 months for falsely claiming that there is an active shooter situation in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And again, it's different for each state, but since this is the issue of the day, wanted to look at Virginia. So put down in the comments what you think. Do you think that a misdemeanor, Class 1, punishable up to 12 months, which is actually serving 6 months, is sufficient for a false claim of active shooter when we're sending law enforcement out there, when reports are being made to parents that their kids may be in danger, they may end up taking off of work and having to go through all these other things? What do you think? Do you think that the General Assembly in Virginia and other legislative bodies across states should take a look at that and elevate that as a special higher crime if it involves a false claim of active shooting at a school? Let me know in the comments. Appreciate you watching the video. Let me know what you think. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and until next time, stay tuned.